Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to go over what exactly is out of balance for your divine masculine and your divine feminine. Well, we're also going to see what's in balance. The last time we talked about how we have a physical body, an emotional body, a mental body, and a spirit body. And today we're going to see where we're out of balance in those four bodies. Okay, as you may know, when it comes to the divine masculine and the divine feminine, these are two energies that we're looking to make like almost like a marriage, right? So right now, the divine masculine, divine feminine are usually kind of irreconcilable, and they kind of work against each other for the most part, as you can see out in the world and within you, that it is very hard for the divine masculine and the divine feminine to work together and to be in harmony. And we are going to learn on this channel how to use alchemy and to marry these two together. It is the great work of alchemy. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's pull some cards, and I'm going to show you exactly for the collective where we're at when it comes to what is out of balance or what is in balance at this time. I'm going to pull six. I'm going to pull six cards to show us what exactly we need to do to get us back into balance so that we have wholeness, so we have oneness, and we get into union. All right, and so what we tend to do is we tend to see outside of us what's out of balance, but we don't realize it's actually in our own energy field and we're actually projecting it. Okay, so let's see what Spirit gave us. All right. So we got mostly out of balance. Okay, so let's start with, oh no, we got quite a bit of balance too, so that's beautiful. Let's start with what's out of balance. First we got cold, insufficient, earthly feminine. Okay, so what does this mean? So this is our emotional bodies, our emotional body. You may have experienced recently a coldness. Either you're feeling cold towards others or others are feeling cold towards you. They're acting cold, they're withdrawing from you, they're acting super serious, they're not being warm. Okay, so this means there is blocked behavioral emotions. I shouldn't say behavioral. Blocked, that means there are blocked emotions that are going on in your emotional body. Okay, and this is what it is. It's basically this: being rigid, being cold, being dry, withholding love. This is what's in your energy field and needs to be released. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, we have excess spiritual feminine, being codependent and not feel like I am enough. Okay. And it could be not feeling enough without your twin flame. It could be not feeling enough by yourself in some way, wanting a partnership. Okay. So this would be excess. So this would be an excess of an emotion, too much of it, the opposite of being blocked, too much of it, and it's causing this codependence. And this is happening actually in your spiritual body, your spiritual feminine. Okay, so this is also at a balance of not feeling enough. Okay, so you're probably saying, well, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, it's just being aware. Once you're aware, so far there's a few more, but once you're aware of what is in your energy field, it needs to be processed in some way. Whatever it is that you do to process, whatever you do to release it, we all have to have some sort of tool. And if you don't, you could always work with me and you could check out my description box. But anyway, and I will help you with this. Okay, the next one is withdrawn, insufficient spiritual masculine. So that's interesting. So This is the spiritual masculine. So this is in the mental body. So in the mental body, we have withdrawn. So maybe you feel like you're kind of being left out in the cold. Maybe you're not in a soul group. You're not in a group that you feel like you belong in some way. You just feel like you're not fitting in. Okay. And so you're looking for this particular group of people. So just know it's in your energy field of withdrawn. So you may want to go into your energy field and release that. So again, we have withdrawn, we have cold, feeling cold, and being codependent as well. Feeling like, oh, I need someone in my life. I need someone to share my life with. And here's the thing, and there's nothing wrong with that, is what they're telling me, but it can't be from the, you know, emotion of not feeling enough, right? It has to come from a wholeness. You could come from a wholeness and say, I would love to share my life with someone, or you can come from a non wholeness and say, I need to share my life. It's not your fault if you come from a not wholeness. It's just an awareness. It's just a just to show you what's in your energy field. And here's the thing, it may not even be yours. It may be ancestral that was passed down to you. Maybe you're clearing your bloodline. Maybe you're clearing your past lives, right? So that's what this means. So it's just to make you aware of what may be in your energy field if this is what you're experiencing. If this is not what you're experiencing in your outer world, if you're not experiencing feeling like you want a partner out of a feeling of not enough, then then this reading's probably not for you, right? This is very specific. Or if you're feeling kind of withdrawn, where no one, you don't really have too many friends in your group that you kind of relate to, or feel like you're in some sort of balanced, I don't know, just where you feel like you're in a group of people where you share the same values. Maybe you don't feel that way. Or maybe people that you thought were warm are now all of a sudden cold towards you. Okay, so that just shows you what is in your energy field, because that is what's being projected into your outer world. But now what's beautiful is that they actually gave us three that are balanced, okay? So in your earthly feminine, which is your emotional body, you're actually quite nurturing, which is beautiful. So you're actually quite nurturing to yourself, to others, maybe in your job. You're being nurturing towards other people. So this is great. So this is showing you a balance that you have in your emotional body, which is awesome. And you also have in your spiritual masculine, which is your mental body, um, is that you're being methodical and you have direction now. Okay, so you're starting to have a direction that you could be focused on, whether it be your goals, your dreams, your mission, something that you're focused on, and you are following those steps, and you're following your whatever direction you're wanting to take. So that's your mental body is in balance in that way. Okay, and this is beautiful too, and this is your spiritual feminine. This is your higher self. This is your intuition that is imbalanced. So you're starting to use your intuition, or maybe not starting to use, but you've been using your intuition, and that is keeping you in balance. So that is the balance. So you're probably wondering, well, what's I don't know, am I saying this right? Antecedent, or what's how to counteract the coldness, and that of course is nurturing, right? And so you have this nurturing. So it's kind of a dichotomy, right? You're like, okay, so I'm nurturing, but yet I have this coldness in my field. Okay? And so what they're saying to me is this dryness and this coldness, it's just showing you to be even warmer to yourself. Like what can you do to be warm to yourself, right? Because maybe you're a bit more nurturing in your outer world. Maybe you're nurturing others. So what can you do to nurture yourself, especially if others are being cold towards you in some way? If you're experiencing a coworker, a sibling, a daughter or a son or a parent or someone who's starting to act very cold towards you for whatever reason, just know it's just something in your energy field that needs to be balanced out. And, and then definitely to be warmer to yourself. And then, of course, you have the withdrawn, and you're like, well, what's the antecedent to that? So when it comes to withdrawn, it's best that you again self-love. Just yeah, it's almost like what they're saying is when it comes to the mental body, when you withdraw, when you have this type of blocked emotion, the best thing you could do is again the focus. So it's so funny. It's such a dichotomy because we have that here. We have the focus. So yeah, so it's like we have both. Okay, so this is what they're telling me as well. So I actually just did a video on this before this one where it's like it's also about accepting this part of you. Interesting. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Okay, so a part of this balance is not getting rid of it. It's like because they're like, yeah, that's the whole point. They're telling me it's the dichotomy of it. They're like, hello. Hello, McFly. That's the whole point. Accepting that part of yourself. So I'm finally getting it now. Okay. So I'm like, huh. We have two opposites here. We have withdrawn, but then, okay, we have balance and then we have insufficient. So really what I'm really looking at here is this beautiful chart that I've shown in the past, but there's this beautiful chart that I found from the Wake Up Experience that I actually love, and you don't have to worry about the other writing that I've done. But basically what this chart is showing us is what is imbalance, which is right here. What is in excess, they call it excess, and what is insufficient. So I kind of call it more blocked emotions versus, yeah, an excess of emotion, I guess is a good way to put it. So anyway, when it comes to this chart, it's not about getting away from the imbalance. Yes, you want to be in balance, but the way to be in balance is to love this part of you that's out of balance, to accept that part of you. So that's interesting. So that is called unconditional love. Okay. So, there's a part of you that's cold, perhaps, maybe there's a part of you that is cold towards others, or maybe there are people that you know that have been cold towards you. And when you accept this part of you, and I know it's so difficult, this is the great work, right? Was that what I started off saying on this video? Alchemy is the great work of union. Okay, so yes, doing both, it's a part of being a human being, right? So being nurturing and being cold, that's right. That is the way it works. Nobody is just that, and nobody is just that, right? It could be according to what, area of life you're talking about. Maybe in an area of life you're super nurturing. Maybe at your job, you're super nurturing in career, or maybe when it comes to money, you're super nurturing, you're super giving. But then maybe in relationships, maybe you're super cold. Maybe it's like, don't hug me, don't come near me, don't breathe on me, whatever, don't connect with me, So it really just depends. And it's about being aware that we have all of it, and yet we are, both. And it's okay that we're both, and that we accept that we are both, and that what's the word they're giving me? That we honor, that's interesting. Okay. That we honor both. We honor all parts of us, because what they're telling me is there's a reason why you're cold, or someone else is projecting, or that you're projecting cold. There's a reason. Maybe something happened when you were an infant. This is what they're showing me. Maybe something happened when you were an infant. Maybe your mom was supposed to be nurturing, but yet she was cold, right? Maybe you were crying and she left you there to cry. Maybe she wanted you to self-soothe, and as a baby, you didn't know what to do with that. Or maybe you were 3 and you hurt yourself and your mom or dad said, walk it off, whatever, right? And so when it comes to your inner child, or when it comes to your ancestral line, or when it comes to, past trauma, these emotions are here to be felt and listened to and honored for a reason. And so honoring your whole journey and not running away from it and not escaping from it, and just knowing that, okay, I'm cold to some people, but there's a reason for this, and let me get to the bottom of it and let me listen. So, oh, okay, it's my inner child saying, hey, this is what we've been through. Have self compassion, right? Having compassion for yourself from all those times that people left you out in the cold. Everybody has had those experiences. It could have been a group of friends that you thought had your back and all of a sudden left you high and dry, left you out in the cold. Okay, and then having compassion for that part of you, because otherwise what happens is, what they're telling me is that a part of your soul kind of breaks off, and then she gets kind of stuck in the underworld, right? And then you have to kind of call her back in, love her, have compassion for her. So that's interesting. I did not know the reading would go into this direction, but that's basically it. It's this is balance, okay? Not saying that that's not, and it really feels really good to be in balance, right? It doesn't really feel good to be in excess, and it doesn't feel good to be insufficient. But what they're saying is you don't run away from it. You face it, you process it, and you talk to it, you find out what happened, and you have compassion for yourself, because what they're telling me is this is what's going to bring you higher. Okay, this is what's going to bring you higher to the scale. You can't have peace at all, because I think maybe I'm starting to get to joy here. Takes a while to get up that scale. Okay, so as you're moving up, and maybe you don't use the Hawkins scale, maybe there's another way that you measure vibration. Okay, but when you're honoring all parts of yourself, even those parts of you that are overthinking or scattered or running away or fearful, even those parts of you, okay? It's about accepting and honoring all those parts of you, because those are the parts of you that have gone through the most transformation, right? Because those are the times where you learn the most, right? When we went through those hard times, those are the reasons why we are where we're at, right? Like, I would love to say that I would have come this far had I had the most nurturing and the most happiest childhood there ever was. But the truth of the matter is, I probably have come this far in my transformation due to the fact of the trauma that I've had in my life. Okay, and that's just probably a fact for most people. Let me just move this over, because I don't want to be in the camera. I just don't want to be in the camera. I don't want to be. Okay. Okay, but let's grab a few more cards and ask some more questions about this when it comes to how to balancing out the divine masculine, divine feminine. Let's ask Sally. Anything else you want us to know about balancing out the divine masculine and the divine feminine? Anything else? I'll just do one card. How else to balance out the divine masculine, divine feminine? I don't need to morph into someone I'm not to be accepted by people. Oh, I love that. Isn't she cute? I just love her hat and her boots. Okay. Again, acceptance, right? Accepting yourself, saying, you know what, I don't need to be a certain way. I don't need to look a certain way. I don't need to act a certain way. I don't need to believe in a certain way to be accepted. I love me the way I am. And that's it. I accept myself. I don't have to morph that's going to bring you into balance between a divine masculine and a divine feminine. I think I'm going to do a reading on what your truth is versus your illusion. I think I'm going to, yeah, do that. I think I'll do that next. But anyway, we'll do a couple more cards here and then we'll end the reading. And, oh, you know what? I haven't really been putting them up here. Okay, and then anything else when it comes to how to balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine? For the collective, one card, please. Yep, surrender your desire to control people. Being over controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Yeah, and this is a big one for a lot of people because, in essence, when we're trying to control people, we're not in acceptance of them, right? And we're trying to control our own lives. Why? Because we're not in acceptance of who we are at this moment. And so, and I have another reading coming up where I did get some psychic visions that have to do with this. But anyway, yeah, do you see how the snake is like wrapped around her neck? That's so interesting. So it's almost like it's just the control is squeezing the life out of her in a way, you know? And yeah, like a boa constrictor or something. It's interesting. But it's something where it's almost like trying to fix something where nobody's broken, when you really look down and when you really start accepting all the shadows and you start accepting everybody for who they are, you realize nobody's broken. Like, the soul has their path. The soul has their way. Well, the soul has a contract of what they want to learn, and you can't tell them not to learn it. Like, you try to control the situation. And so let's just say you have a friend who's in a really bad relationship. You just want to control it. You want to get him out of that bad relationship. But the soul is just going to go into another bad relationship because the soul wants to experience certain things, right? The soul wants to experience certain things. Unless, of course, they come to you for their help. I mean, that's different. But if they're not asking you for their help, or if you say, hey, can I help you with this? Can I help you get out of this relationship? But if they're really not interested and they look at you like, are you crazy? Then you just know, the soul wants to experience that type of experience that we would say, well, that's their life to live, right? Okay, so one more card. Anything else that would balance the divine masculine and divine feminine energies that help us harmonize our divine masculine, divine feminine? Yeah, release. Yep, that's gonna help you. I mean, of course, releasing all these, So when we went into what was, even though you're honoring this part of you that's cold, that's being projected outside of you, or if you know that's within you or whatever, this is just an example. Also, you can release that part of you internally. So releasing that part of you which is, cold, because it doesn't feel good to be cold, right? It doesn't feel good to be surrounded by people who are cold. But again, honoring it, honoring the journey, understanding it's here to teach us something, not running away from it, and release it. So it says, have a good cry. Grief is a doorway to your deepest self. So, especially if you feel like you're being left out in the cold, especially if you feel like there's some sort of group of people who are not warm to you anymore, having compassion for yourself, really feeling those feelings. All right, and then we'll just get one more card to send us to close out this session. Okay, one more card to close out this session, Spirit. One more card when it comes to balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine. One card, please. One card. What is the magic card to help us balance our divine masculine and our divine feminine energies here. Okay. Warrior spirit, relentless commitment to challenges, relentless commitment to challenges, approaches life as a personal battle, here to master your forceful nature. Oof. Okay. That's fierce. Okay. So go ahead and take that stance. Go ahead and take your electric rod, stand in front of the moon, and take your power back. There she is, taking your power back, knowing who you are, understanding that all of you is perfect. All of you. Not some of you, not the parts that other people accept of you, right? Right? You don't have to morph. See, do you think this person is going to morph into something else to please others? Do you think this person is going to do that? No. Absolutely not. But do you also think that this person will control others? Nah. No, she's not interested in that either. That's a waste of her time. Nope. She is going to master her own self. And that's it. She's in harmony with herself, with her divine feminine and her divine masculine energy. She is accepting and loving and taking back her power and understanding what she's been through has been empowering for her, and that what she has become. Wait, what was that card that we saw when we said that not enough? Codependent, here it is. Taking your power back. If you feel like, for instance, like if you feel like you have to be in a relationship right now to be happy, or it's like, or if you have good reason to want to be in a relationship, but it's coming from a place of lack, this is what spirit is asking you to do, is take on that warrior spirit. It's like, you know what, I'm okay. I'm alone right now. I may not have a group of people surrounding me. I may not have a partner right now, but I am a warrior spirit. I could do this. I'm on my own and I got this. I am surrounded by my ancestors. I am surrounded by spirit. I'm surrounded by my guides. I am surrounded by the angels and I got this. All right. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Then thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.